Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Bunny Muffins. I have a new video for you guys today. We are going to be playing Warlords today, so it's going to be a little bit of a weird start. We are going to take this Yasuo because I'm thinking, like, we got pretty good Yasuo items. We got a bow, we got a sword, and it's pretty early. If we get a couple more Yasuos, like, why not, you know? In this next shop, we do get Nasus too. I'm going to go ahead and sell my Nasus with the sword on it because I don't want sword on Nasus. So even though you get a 2-star, sometimes you don't want the items on them. I'm just going to put Nasus in for now because in case I get like Jax, I'll have Divine for him there. So Jax with the Yasuo for Duelist and then the Nasus for the Divine. All right, so we get a Rod. So these items are a little bit funky. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I can't really build anything. I could build a Rage Blade. Some people like slamming Rage Blade early. I personally don't. And especially since I'm still trying to go Yasuo right now, if we see a couple more Yasuos, I'll just go ahead and commit to the reroll Yasuo. There's not really too much of a point in slamming any items. So a lot of people ask me, when I talk about the Duelist comp, I'm like, oh, go for it when you get like a really good start for it. Sometimes getting the Chosen isn't enough for like a very good start. If we had a Chosen and like maybe a good item to slam already, maybe we could go for it. But right now, I really want a couple more Yasuos. I want something like 5 Yasuos or even 6 Yasuos by the time we get the Golem round. And right now, it's just not really seeming like that. We get destroyed here, 3-0. Doesn't feel very good. So on this next shop, we get a couple of brands. It's like a little weird. We lost our first couple rounds, so I'm thinking like maybe we don't need this Yasuo. We didn't hit any more Yasuos. We don't even have another duelist apart from this new Fiora in our shop. But it's at this point where I'm like, okay, maybe I should just play for a lose streak. Let me just try to see what items I get and maybe just make interest here because like I can't really contest anyone because my board's so weak. I don't have items. I don't have a good damage dealer. None of my tanks are 2-stars. So I'm just like kind of giving up on this early stage of the game right now. So instead, we sell everything. We make interest. We get to 10 gold. And then on this next shop, we get something pretty interesting. We get a Katarina and we get a Jarvan. So it's at this point where I'm like, all right, let me go for Warlords because I have pretty much perfect Katarina items. I have Gunblade. I have half a Titan's Resolve. I'm just missing a Quicksilver. And once I get that, that's pretty much perfect Katarina. We already have the Garen and the Nidalee in play. And that was just kind of like a random combo that we put in. We weren't really aiming for going Warlords, but it's something to consider. Gunblade also works in some other compositions, such as the Aurelion Soul builds. But right now, since we have the perfect Warlord start, I'm going to go ahead and just slam the items for that because it's going to hopefully save us a little bit of health in the long run. And like, we're already going for it. Well, no, we're not going for it. We already have some of the pieces for it, so it doesn't seem too bad to just like kind of play it right away. And we're able to steal a couple of unit kills over here just because of the Gunblade. It's really strong on Katarina. And keep in mind, we do kind of want to lose these rounds because we want to keep a lose streak throughout all of stage 2. That way we have a huge economy so we get more gold for a roll down in the future. So on this carousel, I want to start picking up components for Quicksilver because I'm not forced to go Katarina, and slamming Titan's Resolve really commits me to playing Katarina, and that's just like a big no-no because if I don't end up getting any good Warlord units, I'm just going to go 8th. So I go for the Glove instead. It's a bit more flexible, and like QSS is more important than Titan's Resolve at this point in the game. Another reason to not complete the item right away is because I'm still trying to lose, so there's just no reason to kind of go for it, you know? Like, if you are trying to go for a win streak, yeah, slam as many items as possible. But since we are losing, we could kind of chill for a little bit. So this guy here, he's got a Rageblade Tristana with the Zeke, so he's probably going some sort of Kale build. We're able to kill 1 unit. Maybe we could get this Jax. No, we cannot. Taking a lot of damage here. We're at 80, but we really do need to lose this next round to make sure that all that health we lost doesn't go to waste. We get a Chosen Fiora, we get a Garen, and we get a Tristana 2-star. None of these are really that helpful. I'm thinking just sell the Tristanas at this point, go up to 30 gold, because we are only 1 Warlord off from getting 6 Warlord. Also, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be scouting around a little bit, see if there are any weak teams. There are a few weak teams, so I'm going to swap Katarina for Jarvan just to make sure I lose this next round. If we do end up facing someone who is very strong, unlucky, but it's just something you got to do if you really want to keep your lose streak. So unlucky for us, we face the guy in first place who's 100 health and like super win streaking. So it's a little unlucky there because we might take a big loss here. Yeah, we take a 4-unit loss, which is again not ideal, but like it's better to lose like 2 or 4 more life here than just not have a lose streak at all. So I think this was worth the risk because I scouted around. I saw a bunch of weak players that I haven't faced yet, so I was completely fine in doing this. Note that we do have Fortune in the shop here, but it's a little late to do that. We're already at 72 health. If we start a streak now, you typically want to go for like a 6 streak whenever you play Fortune. So if I take 6 more losses right now, I'm going to be at like 20 life, if that. And that's just not very healthy. So I'm not going to go ahead and play the Fortunes right now because taking 6 losses right now is just too much of a risk. So we're not going to do that. Only take Fortune in early stage 2, unless you're trying to win streak with Fortune. That's another thing you could do. Like win streaking with Fortune gets you 2 extra gold per round, 2 to 3 gold. And sometimes that's worth it because if your board is super, super strong, you don't really care about like running a suboptimal synergy. So we get some pretty interesting items here. We do get the Titan's Resolve. I think I'm going to go ahead and slam that. This Chosen here, the Vanguard Nautilus, I'm just going to take that as well. I do want Warlord Chosen, but the thing is, I don't have to roll for the Warlord Chosen, so I'll just play this Nautilus for now. Maybe next turn I find another Vanguard, such as Wukong, such as Braum, and then play like 4 Vanguard for my front line in this stage 3, because you can't get too greedy with your chosen units, because if you do that, you're going to end up spending a lot more gold than you needed to. And Nautilus, he's not like the best chosen, but he's a fine chosen for this round. It's still a 2-cost chosen. At this point in the game, you just really want to avoid 1-cost chosens if you don't have one that like really complements your team already. But you can see here, like, he's a pretty tanky guy. Katarina, with these items, she's going to be doing a lot of work, especially with the assassin trait. So the way Titan's Resolve works is whenever you critically strike or whenever you take damage, you gain a stack of Titan's Resolve. And this gives her a damage buff. And once she reaches 25 stacks, she gets a armor and magic resist buff as well. So with the assassin buff, your spells can critically strike. And since Katarina casts so quickly, or like does a lot of attacks as she's doing it, she gets a lot of Titan's Resolve stacks, and that's why the item's really, really good on her. Obviously, it's not like the best item, because you really want Quicksilver Sash. I think that's the best item on her, and then after that, you want stuff like Gunblade or Handed Justice for healing, but it's still a pretty good item, despite all that. We lose there. RFC Akali, really strong in stage 3, probably one of the strongest chosens you can get with that item combo, but we're just going to chill here. I don't think we're going to level up because there's not really much we could put in. We really want to get another Vanguard to put in, but we're just not seeing them in our shop right now. So this guy, he's going some sort of, he might be going the Spirit build. Spirit build's still really good, guys. A lot of people are saying like, hey man, it got nerfed. Are you sure it's like deserving of being played? I'm like, hell yeah, because so few people are going for it now. So like, if you do go for the Spirit build, you'll be the only person playing it, which means you'll hit every unit you want. So on this carousel, we want to complete our Katarina items. So we want a Negatron here, but there's just no Negatron. So instead, I'm going to grab a sword because sword is very flexible. I want it for Tryndamere as well. So for Tryndamere, you want like as many sword items as you can get, or any attack damage items. And that's just going to be the best thing to take there. You could go for like a Guardian Angel for your Tryndamere. However, I think I'm going to get a Chain Vest naturally from like neutral minion drops. So getting the sword, denying other people's sword, I think is more important. We get pretty lucky here from the Lucky Lantern. We get a Negatron Cloak, which is what we wanted initially. You could say it was super lucky, but honestly, since we were first pick on the last carousel and there wasn't a Negatron, I'd say that it kind of makes up for that fact. But we do level up. We put in the Aatrox. We get 4 Vanguard here, and we have like actually a pretty decently strong board here. Obviously, we want Katarina 2-star, but I'm not going to roll for that quite yet. I'll roll for it at level 7 because Warlords, they're one of the few comps that are allowed to roll at level 7, which makes them pretty flexible. So I'm not as desperate as other compositions, which really need to go to level 8 to roll. And those are comps such as like Slayers, Kale comps, Talon builds, any comp that revolves around more than one 4-cost unit, they're going to be needing to roll at level 8. But Warlords, since you have a lot of 2-star and 3-star units, such as Katarina, Vi, Jarvan, like rolling at 7 is a perfectly fine time to roll for this build, which is again why it's like a great comp, because it gives you the option to roll at 7 without completely gutting your chances to go level 8. So we face this guy. He's got RFC Recon. Wow, 2-star Sivir. This guy's actually really strong. He's got amazing Sivir items with like a ton of keepers. Okay, our Katarina does go off. Is she able to kill the Sivir? Okay, she actually does. She's doing some work. You know, we might lose this round because it's like a 4v3. But like, you guys can see the power of Katarina. Imagine if she's 2-star. Like, he had a 2-star 3-cost unit. Imagine if we had that too. Like, this game wouldn't have even been close. But unfortunately, we don't get that quite yet. We will get it soon, though. Oh, wait, actually, we do win the round. Okay, that's kind of that's kind of goofy. But we do have perfect item Katarina, so that does help a lot. Once we get her 2-star, which is like a very high chance we'll get her 2-star after this roll down, it's going to be looking pretty good. So this Warlord comp is a bit awkward. Oh, by the way, on the neutral rounds, swap out all your units to put in the Warlord so that they get a free stack from the minion round. Because whenever you win a round with Warlords in play, you get another stack of Warlord buff, which gives them health, attack damage, and ability power, I believe. Or maybe it's just health and ability power. No matter what, it's going to be a good buff. So it's like, always make sure to put them in there. Here we get a spatula, and at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely committing to Warlords because Warlord Spatula is really, really strong. We could get to 9 Warlords if we wanted to, which is a super, super huge buff. I've been saying this for the past couple of patches. If you get 3-star Katarina with 9 Warlords, it's pretty much an auto win. And yeah, so I buy the Katarina 2-star there. I could take this Kennen to play as like an interim unit, but I think I do end up passing it. I really want to get some sort of Warlord chosen because I am level 7, which is like a great time to get Warlord chosen. I could also just buy that Morgana chosen just to play in the meantime over the set, for example. So perhaps I do make a couple of mistakes in this particular roll down. I think I should have just taken a random chosen just to play over this random set and just run 3 Warlords. I was really obsessed about getting 6 Warlord because I just needed 1 more unit or a chosen. And that just wasn't in the cards for this particular round. But man, this Katarina, she beat an Olaf 2-star. This guy's level 7, 50 gold Olaf 2-star, and we beat him. That's crazy, right? I know he doesn't have many items, but that's like a very powerful unit, and we don't even have a chosen. So, man, Katarina, perfect items. Like when she's 3-star, she destroys people at stage 6. When she's 2-star, she destroys people in stages 3 and 4 with these items. So again, I'm rolling down. I really want to get like a chosen unit. So we end up getting one there, which is pretty nice. I think we take out Set and the Aatrox for 6 Warlord. And 6 Warlord's really nice because it gives Katarina a lot of health, which makes sure that she goes off before dying. Honestly, it is a bit awkward that we get like a chosen Katarina. It's great for the long run. If we're trying to get first place, getting chosen Katarina is the best thing ever. However, I did want to get like a different chosen unit so that I don't have to play duplicates of a unit because then I could fit in more synergies. For example, I had to get rid of Vanguard, and Aatrox is really, really good with Katarina. So let's think about it for a moment. Katarina is a short-range champion, so like her spin, it only attacks within a couple of hexes. So when you put Aatrox in the game, he pulls units that are far away right next to Katarina so that she could hit more units, and that's why he's really, really good. So if I had my items on the chosen Katarina, I'd run an Aatrox in place of this extra Katarina, and it'd give me Vanguard buff, and it'd give me a huge utility in the team fights. By the way, you may have noticed I haven't built any items yet. It's because I don't have a real good item holder for this, so these are all Tryndamere items if you haven't figured it out yet. So it's definitely Guardian Angel on Tryndamere. It could be a Bloodthirster, it could be like a Giant Slayer if I need it. It could even be like a Runons. Runons, it's not optimal on Tryndamere, but it's like not a bad item to build. But right now, like, there's no one on my board that I could just throw it on and then sell once I get Tryndamere. I guess maybe I could do it on Garen, but I want to go for 9 Warlords because I have the Spatula. So all these Warlord units on my bench, I can't really use them as an item holder. If I didn't have the Spatula, you could put it on Garen because he's most often replaced in this composition in the late game. So if you're only playing 6 Warlords in the late game, just go ahead, use Garen as an item holder. But we get the belt here, which is really nice, because that means we could build Warlord Spatula. All right, so here I'm thinking like, do I need to level up? I do want to roll at level 8. It's like a tiny bit expensive to level up right now because I did roll a lot at level 7, so I don't really feel that comfortable playing this comp or leveling up right away. Instead, I just replace my Nidalee, throw in the Olaf, put on the Warlord Spatula on him, and then I give him Guardian Angel and probably the bow because he's going to be my Tryndamere item holder right now. Once I get Tryndamere, I'll probably sell the Olaf, find a new Slayer, and then try to play either 6 Warlord with like Slayers or 9 Warlords. And yeah, we got a lot of people spinning around right now. We have Garen spinning, we have Katarina spinning. It's a great sight to see. Okay, on this next shop, I'm going to pick up more Jarvans. Maybe we get a Jarvan 3-star because we are going to roll down for this Katarina because we have 6 copies of her. And there's a pretty high chance that we could get Jarvan 3-star as well. And Jarvan 3-star is a real unit as well, unlike other 3-star units, because Jarvan, he attacks a backline, so he's actually pretty useful. Keep in mind, if we did not get the Warlord chosen Katarina and we only had 3 Katarinas, I probably would have just power level to level 9, play random legendaries instead of going for Katarina 3-star. They're both very viable options. You could even sell your Katarina in the late game to put the items on someone else. For example, these items are very good on champions like Set or like Yone, or just like any frontline legendary unit they're going to do really well on. Swain's another great example. So it's like, you don't always have to go for 3-star Katarina, but like, it's very useful if you are able to. And this is just one of the games where we are able to go for it. But you have to kind of identify which games you can and which games you cannot go for Katarina 3. All right, so here we get a little more gold. We do get a Tryndamere, which is pretty useful. We're going to have to buy some or build some items for him. I'm going to drop him in over Garen for now. However, since we are going for 9 Warlords, we are not going to sell him. I think I'm going to build like Last Whisper IE. That sounds like a pretty good combo, right? It could be Bloodthirster as well, but I'll probably be giving him Slayer buff later, so maybe the IE is more useful. And then for this Warlord spat, I'm going to put it on Sejuani because I'm probably going to sell Sejuani for Aatrox and hopefully get a Samira later because Samira is the best holder for Warlord spat. And then we roll down a bit here. I'm going to grab this Zed, drop it in for Sejuani, get the Slayer buff because I do have a 3-item Tryndamere, so I do want to make sure I do have some synergies for him. So this guy's running... He really wants to run Kale. He's got the like level 1 Kindred here with RFC Rageblade QSS. He's got a Yone too, but he's got no Kales. That's unlucky, you know, because he had perfect Kale items. But sometimes the game just happens like that, you know. And he's got 0 gold, so he's actually in a pretty rough spot. But at this point, since we're beating everyone, I'm just going to be slow rolling for this Katarina. And hopefully get our 3-star. We also still need Azir for the 9 Warlord buff. So once we get him, we'll swap our team out. Right now we're doing 3 Slayer and 2 Assassin, which is perfect for our team because our 2 carries are Tryndamere and Katarina. Whoever you put items on, those are generally the champions you want to have, synergies for. I know we have 9 Warlord right now, but again, I don't want to take out my team and lose Assassin and Slayer because, again, the items are more important on them. So I'm going to wait until I get Samira to go 9 Warlord. Or maybe I get like level 9 and go for it instead. Both options work. It just depends on how my rolldowns go. But you guys can see, it's stage 5. Katarina is still dominating people. The games are getting a tiny bit closer. Like before we were like winning 0 questions asked. Now the games are a little closer. So you do want Katarina 3-star for the next power spike. Or get to 9 Warlords. But since we have like 2 wasted spots right now because we have to play both the Katarina with items and the chosen Katarina, that's why we can't go 9 Warlord right now. So it's like a little bit of an awkward spot, if you ask me, because if we had the items on chosen Katarina, we'd be able to fit everything we want in our comp. So right now I'm actually going to bench her because we do have the Warlord spatula, so we do have an extra slot in our team right now. So we're just going no chosens for a bit. It's a little awkward, but again, once I hit this Katarina, we are going to power spike so hard. It's like not even funny, guys. This guy's going the Spirit build. He's only got Tristana 2-star. He's 1 off Tristana. That is unlucky. I remember this guy. He was like first place for most of the game, I think. And that's I feel a little bad for him. But yeah, sometimes the game just goes like that. Can Tryndamere do this? No, I don't think he can. Tryndamere does heal a lot, though. Holy cow, such a close game. Maybe next time, maybe next time. Once he gets Tristana 3, it's going to be a little scary. So on this carousel, what do I actually want? So I want to itemize Samira next. None of these items are honestly that useful. Maybe we could go Ionic Spark to buff our Katarina. Maybe we could go for Morello because we don't really have like a damage over time thing. Actually, no, Katarina reduces healing, but hers is kind of like she always kills whoever she's attacking. So maybe the Morello could be useful for someone else. But maybe it was Ionic. Yeah, Morello isn't that great because we already have a healing debuff. Yeah, definitely Ionic. I make a mistake there. So if I did get an Ionic, I'd put it either on like my front line, such as an Aatrox, or put it on Pyke because Pyke might follow my Katarina a bunch. So we get the Olaf back. I'm going to put him in for Slayers and then put the book. Maybe even Azir can hold it. But Ornn, I'm going to be selling for sure. So I'm going to sell him or put it on him right now and then sell him later. And that's just because in the late game, I could always choose a different target for my Morello Namicon. So we see a Samira in shop. Unfortunately, I run out of time to like decide who to sell on my bench to get her, but I definitely do want to be playing her because, well, I mean, she's just the best Slayer unit, and I mean, I don't need to say anything else. Ironically, she's another person who does a little twirl as well. So we have Garen, Katarina, and Samira. I guess Tryndamere, he kind of spins as well as he's like dashing. So we got 4 people spinning around on our team. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is like that type of combat. I don't I don't really know. But yeah, sell this Olaf, drop in Samira, buy this Katarina, put the Warlord banner on Samira. So one important thing about Warlord Spat is that like some people might think like, yo, dude, that's like a waste of an item on Samira because you want like Guardian Angel, you want like Last Whisper, you want like Infinity Edge. But in all things considered, like if let's take a look at the 9 Warlord buff here. I'll just read it off to you on my other screen. 9 Warlord buff gives 700 health and 70 spell power. That is a lot of stats. So if you think of a Warmogs, which is a great item on Samira, that gives 1000 health. So we're pretty much getting a Warmogs plus 70 spell power. That's completely insane. Like whenever you get a spatula item, it's generally best to put it on your legendary units because you just get insane stats from them. So yeah, I'd rather have that over an Infinity Edge, for example. All right, so we get a Duelist Spat here. That's honestly actually pretty good because if we get a 2-star Tryndamere, it's going to be helping him out a lot. I'll sell the Vi here. I'd rather have 3-star Jarvan than 3-star Vi. But this is starting to be one of those turns where we really need to find that Katarina 3-star in order to play 9 Warlord. That's why I'm kind of selling or rolling down on a neutral round because I just really need to find her. And I don't want to run out of time next turn. So it is like a suboptimal play, but like because I'm not fast on the roll downs and like I know a lot of people, even like I think the rank 1 China player, he rolls down on neutral rounds as well because it's just that important to not mess up your roll downs later in the game because I'd rather roll down all my gold than only roll down half my gold suboptimally, just because like you just get more power that way, you know. But we're gonna put in 9 Warlords right now. Who do I have to take out? Is it Pike? 1, 2, 3. Dude, I can't count right now. But we do have Slayers. We don't. I need to find a way to fit in Pike. How do we fit Pike in? I guess we have to go level 9. So that'll be the next thing I do. I'm going to put Morello on the Azir, and I think Duelist on the Azir as well because no one else really uses attack speed in our team. It's not that great on Azir either, but maybe when he attacks more, he gains more mana, and then he ultimates faster. Morello, he does do an AoE, so it's not bad on him. But yeah, I guess we just level up to level 9 and like just drop in this Pike. Yeah, without Assassin buff, without Slayer, our Katarina and Samira kind of got wrecked there. So it is a little troublesome, but hopefully that can change this turn because we are just going to press F a bunch of times, go to level 9, drop in Pike, and now our team's super strong again. We got like infinite synergies from that. Since we are in level 9, we're not going to get Jarvan, so I just sold him there, try to get Samira 2-star and Azir 2-star. Samira 2-star is pretty much like an auto win in most teams, and especially with a Katarina 3, like 9 Warlord buff, you can't really get that much better than that. Oh yeah, one other thing, like I forgot to do this earlier, put Samira near the front, either 2nd or 3rd row, because she has really short range, so you really need her to start the fight near the front. If not, she wastes a lot of time walking up to people. Oh, and some people might be wondering, like, why do I put the Azir soldiers in the bottom left and bottom right corner? Essentially, that's just to block Lee Sin kicks. So if you face a Lee Sin, he often kicks people to that corner, and when you have a unit there that doesn't move, he can't kick his target off the board. So that's why I put the Azir soldiers in the back like that. But yeah, right now we're just rolling down for Samira and Azir. We do see a Tryndamere here. We do want him because he does have the Trinity Force. And Trinity Force with the 2-star unit is completely insane. If you guys didn't catch my last video, I had a Trinity Force on Set. And Set was just one-shotting everyone with Jeweled Gauntlet, Trinity Force, and Titan's Resolve. It was a pretty cool game. It was a pretty cool game. Oh, one thing to note late game, you notice I'm scouting a lot. That's because I would need to put my Katarina near the enemy carries. And this time I like lost the 50-50. I think more people were on the top right side than the top left, but We ended up facing someone on the top left, which is a little unfortunate because our Katarina is not going to hit this Tristana until she walks up, and then now she's in range. So we do get like bailed out a little bit there, but I guess we kind of destroyed him, so it didn't really matter if Katarina hit Tristana or not. Our team's actually pretty healthy too. Like a lot of times, if if Katarina doesn't clean people up, Samira or Tryndamere will. So it's kind of like good to have these 3 carries out like that. So on this carousel, what do we want? We do want a Tryndamere item, so those Zeeks would have been pretty good for him. But I think maybe just Runons for Tryndamere. It's not like the best item, but Tryndamere does attack a lot, so even though it doesn't help his spell, it's still pretty useful to just slam on him. All right, so yeah, just sell this, roll a couple of times. Hopefully we get the Samira or the Azir, or Tryndamere. Okay, we needed Tryndamere too. I forgot about that. It's a little unfortunate right now. We do want to be running Aatrox again. Like that Kale on the top right corner does not have a Quicksilver, so Aatrox is very high value. So there might be some games where if you can't beat that Kale player, you consider dropping down to 6 Warlords and running Aatrox instead, because Aatrox is like the counter to non-QSS carries. But we're able to just position our Katarina in front of the Kale in this fight. I don't know if you noticed our Ghost is facing the Kale player, so we'll see if we beat him now, whereas we lost to the Kale player before. But yeah, Katarina makes quick work of this Tristana. She makes quick work of that Kale, and I think that's a GG, right? It's gonna be close. Oh no, where this guy still has 3 life. Hey, it's the Tristana player we were talking about before, who was like hard stuck on Tristana too. He did hit it a little late. Maybe if he hit it earlier, he might have a chance against us because maybe we couldn't be as greedy as we were. But since we were able to do a full greed, we got Katarina 3-star. We're still going to get even stronger with Samira 2-star. Azir 2-star doesn't matter that much. It's like useful, but not like that great. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to position my Pyke opposite corner of the Tristana. He doesn't have a Lee Sin, so I put my Azir soldiers up. And then I just want to aim my Katarina at his Tristana, which I do here. And even though he frontlines Tristana, like Katarina's still going to find a way up there and be in range of this Tristana just because they're on the same side. And so once she ultimates like that, everyone dies, and like Samira's spinning too. Everyone's spinning right now, so they're all just having a good time. But yeah, Warlords, like 9 Warlords Tristana, or 9 Warlords Katarina 3-star, completely unstoppable in my opinion. I've been saying this for a while. Like DQA, who's a rank 1 player in North America right now, he made a guide on my website, bunnymuffins.lol, for Warlords, and like he was saying that since the beginning of the set. It is still true, and they just buff Warlords a bunch. So try out Warlords, try out Katarina 3, try out Samira 2-star. You don't have to go 9, you could go 6 Warlords as well, but have fun with this, and I'll see you guys next time.